So on his appearance on The Daily Show, Bernie Sanders was asked this question by Trevor Noah. Noah said, "This is an interesting time where this field is more diverse than ever before, but some people have said, all right, you have a diverse field, but it feels like the frontrunners are still old white men." And Sanders said, "You're not talking about me, are you?" Noah said, "Isn't it time for you guys to step aside?" Referring to him and Joe Biden. And he said, "Look, I think the American people have to make that decision. Nobody else makes it. But I think it is appropriate for people to say, okay, who has been talking about this issue when? Who had the courage to go forward and at what time? So it's important not to look at just personalities. I think in American politics in general, we do too much of that." And look, I agree. If a bunch of people that are voting in a Democratic primary do feel like it's time for a different sort of candidate, then that's how they'll vote. I am just 100% against any sort of shortcuts in the primary. Any belief that it won't be down to the voters, that we will tell people they need to step aside, you need to drop your candidacy because of the demographic, realities of who you are.
Right.
I think that they might run up against a wall in the primaries. Any number of different candidates could. But I don't necessarily like the framing that it should be on Bernie to not run in the first place necessarily.
Yeah. And
there, I'm not necessarily just responding to Trevor Noah. Maybe I'm being a bit too hard on him, but I've seen any number of editorials implying the same exact thing.
Right, you can criticize, and Trevor Noah might be asking this question so that Bernie can respond to it.
It's possible.
But it's still, you can still judge an interview based on what questions they ask, even if they are couched like that. But I think that the same people that are critical of Bernie Sanders for being too old are the people who say like you need to find a strategically moderate window. And all of that equilibrium finding rests on like what the other guy is like, and the other guy's old.
Yeah.
So Trump, the alternative is old. You're not going to win or lose because you have two old people. Because that's their logic. So
yeah.
I think it would work out anyway.
And in terms of the ability of, or the possible effect that age might have on the actual candidacy or the campaign, Bernie said, "All I can say is thank God my health is good. As a kid, I was a long distance runner. I had a lot of endurance, and I still do." And then he ran out of the studio straight to Iowa. No, I don't know about that.
But we didn't know. We didn't even see him leave. Afterwards, there was just like dust.
Just dust.
And you heard.
That may be a reference that some younger viewers won't get. But I grew up on that stuff. Really fast, I just want to mention, I wish I knew who is Trevor Noah supporting right now? Assuming he's supporting a Democrat, which I assume he will. I wonder who he supports. Trevor Noah is such an interesting figure. He's pissed off a lot of people over the last few years with some of his political views. It would be very interesting to get into his head and know, does he like Bernie or not? You can't always tell from the interviews.
Me neither. Yeah. We'll see.
Thank you very much for watching this clip from The Damage Report. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell on YouTube to get notifications of our new videos. And of course, you can catch the full Damage Report live every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on TYT Network on YouTube TV.